Hey guys, how is it going? We're back in another Retail Tycoon video, as you can see right here. So today we're gonna be continuing on building our store right here, because before we just left off with the basics. So today we're actually going to be expanding our store, because you can do that. Like if you've ever played this game before, you may have noticed people having these giant, like really big stores. Today we're not going to be expanding into like a giant store like one of those, but we are going to get started on slowly expanding our store into something of that size. So because we always start somewhere. But as you can see here, I've removed the roof so we can see a bit better, and I've also cleared out all my stock so we have the most money available. And first we're going to head into this one right here, this one called upgrade, and we're going to head into buy more land right here. This one, the top here. So you see here we have all these options to buy land. I have actually already expanded on these two out here. They are also both 1,000, like these three right here. So I've already bought these these two it's called, and we're only going to be using those for now, because we want to also be able to have money after we actually finish expanding. So we have these two here. I recommend you also buy these or something like just back here, or like buy the cheapest ones, and like those just expand into a bigger square until you have the last one right here. So it's all 1,000, the 2,000s, the 3,000, the 4,000, and then the 5,000s at last. So once you've actually bought these two, I'm just going to go ahead because I've already done that. Then because we have a bigger store, you would probably also want to upgrade your parking lot. As you can see right here, I have the second parking lot because this is the normal one, and also have the second sign you have right here. We also do that in the upgrade tab right here. You can see there's also upgrade parking lot and upgrade store sign. So in here we just have the second option, which is the grave lot. You see there's 5 spaces here for 2,500, or you can also go bigger with the small for 7 spaces, 10 spaces, or 22 spaces. So, but we're not going to go into that. And there's also the signs in here you can see, which is the small metal sign, the pretty stone sign, the large noticeable sign, and the huge obnoxious billboard. But we're just keeping good here for now, because we don't want to have too many people, because then our store is going to be overflow and it's not going to be good. So we're just going to keep how it is for now, but we're actually going to expand on our store by going into the build option, which is number 6 down here in the left hand corner it's called. And then you're going to start to buy the small walls. We're not really going to care about making our store taller for now, but we'll do that in next time we expand. But so we just put our walls right around the perimeter of our store. As you can see here, it goes right here, because one plot you can buy in here in the store actually counts as 3 tiles you're able to place stuff on. So you just go back in here, and then you actually can also hold shift while you are doing building walls and stuff. So you can see down here at the bottom it says hold shift to place continuously, so it doesn't do this each time you have to place. So you just hold it in and then just do like this, and there you go. So then just place these in, and just to have a bit of a like unique look, I'm just gonna, whoops, I just misplaced there. Trying to do that because, as you can see, it does say that you only get 50% value, so misplacing isn't really the best for you. So I'm just gonna remove these so we can expand out into our places here, and then I will maybe remove some of these here, and then we'll take our glass door instead and fully glass walls around like this, just doing like this, like here, just to make it feel a bit more open in here. And there we have that done, and that didn't cost us too much. We're just still gonna stick with the concrete actually here, right here, because we don't really feel like doing expensive floor yet. We'll do that once we actually have our store made. Then we just fill the floors in just like this, and now we can actually start moving our stuff around in here. So I don't know, maybe we feel like doing something like, let's see, what can we do? We can maybe even, if you feel like it, I wouldn't recommend doing this, but I'm just going to do this here just for show, just to have it a bit more feel like. But if you, for example, want to divide your store into more sections, you could do that. Like for example, if I do something like this here, or maybe back here, maybe, that's actually what I wanted to do. Because then we can see we have our cash register up against the wall here. That would be pretty nice. So we can stand in here and have a wall behind us. And I wouldn't recommend doing this because walls inside your store is kind of a waste of space at the start, so I would recommend not doing that, but I'm just going to do this just here because I have a good amount of money. So we can just take these maybe and move them back, and just have those back there, and let's see, what could we maybe do? But then we can actually start adding stuff in here, maybe even have some decoration if you feel like that. We'll do that last, but see, we have a bit of open space, so we can maybe take these here. They fit pretty well out in the middle here, so maybe get some hats and that. And maybe back here where we have a little closed off area back here, we could maybe add some I don't know, maybe add some of these right here, add one of those, maybe add 3 of them even, just like this, and let's see, what more could we add? We could maybe even, yeah, let's try and take one of these here, the racks, just like this. And now we have our basic store layout. Maybe if we wanted to, we could maybe go with some display cases or display table cases, whatever I want to take. But I feel like we're just going to do what we have here for now. It seems pretty well. Actually, I think I'm going to change the color of our store. We can do that right in here. It's by changing, just by going off to this tab right here and then choosing what color we want to have. I'm going to choose pink because that's a beautiful color. And then we are going to see, let's see, now we're actually going to fill in the stuff here. If you remember from the last video, also, I just want to say, if you haven't seen the last video, I highly recommend you go and do that, because some of the stuff I'm doing here may not make sense, because I explained all of it in the last video. So I recommend you go watch that before you watch this if you are new to the game. So I'm going to go into the number 1, it's called manage here, and I'm going to click on this here and say because we want to put hats on it. So we actually have stuff on it. Because right now, you can see this here says no item selected, so we won't be able to place stuff on it before we go in and take clothing here, and we actually make it so there's able to be clothing on. We have to do that for all our stuff. So we just do this here, get a bit more variety of our stuff here, one of each here, and boom. So now we have all our stuff in place. Now we actually have to start filling out our stuff. So also recommending here, once we have our store expanded, you'll probably have to get a feel of it with yourself, but I already tried, because I have a bit of more experience with the game, that a thing like this here, you can also see here how many customers a thing can have here, but I would recommend getting, for example, a self-scan here, just like this here, maybe put one other against the wall here, so just so you won't get too long queues in your store, because people will complain about that, and it won't be good for you. So I'm just gonna get right back here, because we have to have someone stand behind the register. I don't want you to buy any cashiers, because they're just a waste of money, in my opinion at least, so I wouldn't do that. But now we just have to go into our number 2 supplies here, and then we're gonna have to start buying some stuff. So let's see, we have toys, food, we have, let's see, what more we have, frozen food, hats, clothing, books, video games, chips, pets, and car parts. So we could actually start buying some of those. So let's see, we had books. I'm just going to do 15 of each, just like this, chips and food, just like that, so we can fill in our food here, we can fill in our books, and we can fill in our chips. Going on, we can have frozen food, we have toys, and we have video games, so we can get in the last couple of ones here, frozen food, toys, and video games, just like that. And then we have the clothing, which is down here, and then we also have our hats, which are here. You can see they do get gradually more expensive the further it get down, so watch out for that. But you just put our clothing on here, and we put our hats on there, and then we have the 2 last pets and car parts, which should be right here, our car parts, and they fill a lot, as you can tell. So we just had a quickly gonna have to put those in there. And then once this has actually gone down, we are being able to buy a couple more pets. Once this goes right, as you can see, it will go. Oh, there you go. And I might. Thank you, Silver. I didn't ask you. Go away. Stop it. Whoops. Okay. I don't know what just happened there, but we see we actually don't have money for pets now because we already bought them. I just realized I did that. So now going to pets here, and you can see we just fill that up. And now we actually have all our stuff filled in. So now we just have to keep up with the people actually buying stuff. So let's see. We can see we have to also look after what's yellow and what's like getting orange down into red. So you see food here is pretty low, so we're going to go into food, and we're going to buy some of that, just like this, and boom. Now that we've done that, and let's see, maybe frozen food is a bit low, so we go to frozen food, buy a bit more of that, fill that in. Once you're actually finished expanding, you don't have to mind your money going pretty close, because you won't be able to get into negative just like this when you don't have any workers taking your money. So the worst case scenario is you're gonna have to like wait a bit to get more money, but it's not really that big of a problem. So maybe see more toys here, see if we can buy that. We can, so we're gonna do that. Fill that up. Our food is also running a bit low, so again, so we just take our food, buy more of that, fill that up. And we see over here maybe our video games or our clothing are starting to be a bit low. Clothing we can't buy yet, as you can see it's a bit too expensive. But something like video games here, we may be able to buy that. We can do that actually, so just going to fill it up again and just keep filling up on your stuff, and just, you know, this is again, we're going into the like kind of waiting game here, because we actually want to start making up a bit of cash. So if you feel like trying to get a better star rating, you could probably place down a bit of like decorations right here. You can see we have some here. You can see you have a bit of benches. I don't really feel like you should place those inside, but you be you. I'm not to judge you from that, but we can also maybe have a bit of plants, maybe some here, maybe some of the ends. Just do a bit of store placement just like this. I maybe just, you know, something like this to get a bit of a better rating. But basically that's how you expand on your store. You see our stores also, it's already two times, maybe like 3 times, you could maybe say, bigger than it was before. So that's like a pretty big upgrade already. So you see now we have a robot that are gonna take him, and you see people aren't actually complaining about long queues, because I do have 2 places. And you can see we can have 5 people here at once, or 5 cars, which is a lot of people. So yeah. But guys, that will basically be it for now, because you know, there's not really much more about the expansion, because the next time I expand, I'm probably gonna have to have at least a good 20,000 before I feel like doing it. So yeah, it's gonna be a while, but I'll let you do that in your spare time, so you can go play the game now if you feel like it. But yeah, that will be it for this video. Of course, if you enjoyed it and find this tutorial kind of thing helpful, be sure to leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing to my channel, because we are getting somewhat close to 1,000 subscribers. So I don't know, maybe if we could hit it by the end of the year, that would be pretty epic. So yeah, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But until next time, I will see you guys then.